Hello, this is Dr. Mears. We are writing an equation from a graph today. These were the two examples that I wanted you to do after you did your ISN writing an equation of a line from a graph. You had three steps you need to write down, and we did two equations from that video. And here are two more graphs and examples to do. So let's do them. Here's number one. Here's the line, y-axis, x-axis. The first step that we need to do is locate where the line crosses the y-axis. So here's the y-axis and here's my line. Oh, look at that. There's a nice little point where it crosses my y-axis, and it's actually on -1. And we need to write that as 0b or 0, -1 because this is my b. Remember, that's how we write it as the point to show where it crosses. So I can now write down b equals -1 and put a box around it. The next thing that I need to find is my slope, and we need to pick a point. So here's my y-intercept. We start there, and I want to pick another point on this line. There's two others to pick from. I'm going to pick this one because it's on my right, because remember, I like to go from left to right. So starting here, we need to count how many up or down, because remember, the number in the numerator is how many up or down we have to go in order to get to that next point. Up is positive, down is going to be negative. So here we're going to go from this point to this point, and we actually have to go up. So let's count positive 1, 2, 3, and 4. So positive 4, positive 4. So that means we went up 4. In the numerator is what we have to count, right or left. And right is going positive and left is going negative. So I'm right here, and I am going to the right, which is going to be positive. I'm only going over 1 to the right, so that's positive 1. You can leave this as 4 divided by positive 1. That's absolutely fine. However, it looks more professional if we do reduce that to 4. So I'm going to put m equals 4. So in writing my equation, we write it as y equals mx plus b. The two properties that I need here is -1 and this positive 4. So our m is positive 4, so y equals 4. Bring down your x. Our b is negative, so this is going to be minus now 1. So our equation is y equals 4x minus 1. This is what I'm going to look for first before I check any of your work. I'm going to see if this is right. Next example that we have here, next graph. Scroll down a little bit. Okay, so here's our line, here's our y-axis, here's our x-axis. So the first thing that we do is locate where the line crosses the y-axis, which is the y-intercept, and that's right here. Notice, nice little point. The point is at 1, so that is 0b, 0, 1. So that means our b is positive 1, and we put a box around it. We now need to get to another point. We have to say how we got there to find our slope, and we have to go up or down first because that's in our numerator. So I'm going to pick this point right here because it's on my right. I like to go from left to right. So starting on our y-intercept here, I'm going to count down 1, 2. So that's negative because I am going down. So this negative says I'm going down. Then we are going to the right, and we are only going 1, so that's a positive 1 because I went right 1. So this said I went down 2 and right 1 from my y-intercept to another point on that line. This is -2 over positive 1. You can leave it like that. Again, I would reduce it to -2. Now, some of you might be thinking, what happens if you can't reduce it? Then you leave it as a fraction. So any fraction, if it cannot be reduced, you leave it. That's it. You're done. You don't need to do anything extra except substitute m and b into your equation. So we have b is 1, and our slope is -2, our m. Let's substitute it into y equals mx plus b. So y equals m is -2, and I made that look a little weird. Erase that. Y equals -2. Our x and our b is positive this time, so we're going to do +1. So here it is, y equals -2x plus 1. Hopefully this helped, and now you are working on practice. Thank you.